Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Ali Perspective. I know you guys have been missing me because I've been missing you, and it's been a while since I've dropped an episode. But I just want to come back here today and talk about some of the things that I've been seeing in sports lately that I just have to talk about. Okay, so first of all, I want to give a shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning their first NBA title. Okay, proud of them. I was happy that the finals ended up being between two teams who would have both either walked away with their first championship and bringing that back to their franchise. We're ushering in a new era of superstars. The superstars that I grew up, the LeBrons, the Currys, those guys are getting ready to retire soon. Don't get me wrong. I know they still good now. I'm not writing those guys off, but I'm saying in the next 4 to 5 years, I see those guys retiring, and those were the guys that I grew up being superstars. So now I am finally seeing the new era of superstars come in, and seeing how they're able to run their teams and seeing them be successful at the next stop. Shy SGA, I thought he should have won MVP. He has been that person for his team. Not only has he been like that guy on a team, he's been a guy on the best team in the NBA. And they've been the best team in the NBA throughout the entire season. So it's really good to see when those teams, they start great and then they finish great. I can honestly say there was never a time where I thought that OKC was in danger or that they were going downhill. They were a team that was steadily good the entire year. So shout out to them. They did a heck of a job in building this team with OKC. I mean, getting SGA from the Clippers, drafting the guys that they drafted. I mean, that front office did a fantastic job, and they are going to be able to retain at least 90% of that team. So I can see that team being in contention for maybe a repeat next year. But I mean, the first day of the NBA offseason officially kicked off when we saw some trades and we saw some moves from teams. One of the biggest moves that I have to talk about is the fact that Kevin Durant will be joining the Houston Rockets, and then Jalen Green will be joining the Phoenix Suns. Now, we've all seen this song and dance before of already established players getting traded to teams that had a really good young core, and the team had to trade away their promising young talent to a new team. And if I'm not mistaken, like I said, we're just talking about SGA. SGA went through the same thing when the Clippers traded to get Paul George, and then we see how that worked out for the Clippers and how it worked out for OKC. Could this be the same thing happening where Houston Rockets are trading Jalen, and then Jalen goes to the Phoenix Suns and he becomes a superstar? I mean, when Jalen Green is on, he's on. Once he finds a way to be consistent, I think that he will be the superstar that Houston thought that he could be. But I think Houston is in the state of they want to win now. I mean, that team is obviously in contention when you're talking about adding KD. Yes, KD is older, but KD is also averaging dang near 27 points a game last season on the Suns. So if he can stay healthy for a year, and I mean, they still have a really good young core mixed with a lot of good veterans now. I can see Houston possibly being, I wouldn't say a contender in terms of winning, but being one of the top teams in the West. I mean, their roster is very talented, and they still have Sengun, who I think is going to be one of the best. I love to see him play. The way he hunts for rebounds, the way he's able to score, he's versatile, he's a good defender. So them keeping that, and then they're probably going to extend a couple more people. So the Houston Rockets is definitely a team to look out for. Another trade that I was a little like, okay, what are we doing? The Desmond Bane trade. Bane leaving Memphis, okay, that's fine. But to see what all they gave up to get Bane, I mean, they had to give up more first round picks than the Mavericks did to get rid of Luka. So I don't understand that. I don't understand how people approved of that. I mean, Bane is good, but he's not that many first round draft picks good, in my opinion. So we'll see how that plays out and how that goes. But that was definitely that definitely was a move that I was a little. I'm definitely scratching my head about that one. I don't know what the Magic was thinking, but hey, we'll see how that plays out and if that helps them in the long run. So yes, and also I want to give a shout out to Tyrese Halliburton, and not even a shout out. He how he started Game 7. I knew OKC was going to win that game no matter what, but I felt like if without the injury, he really would have balled out. And I think Halliburton had a point to prove when his peers voted him as the most overrated player in the NBA. And I think that made him rise to the occasion a bit more. That made him a little bit more hungry to prove people wrong. And I think he would have balled out in that Game 7. And I think he was on their way to doing that. But we've seen this time and time again, when players have those calf injuries, it's just best to sit them out. Because if you don't and you try to rush them back or they think they're good, we've seen the Achilles injuries play out time and time again. It happened to KD. It happened to Lillard. Like it happened to Tatum too. Like and those are three people that happened to in the same playoffs. So I think we're going to see now when those players have those calf strains or those calf injuries that they're really going to have to just sit out and rehab those, because if not, then you risk tearing the Achilles. So now you're thinking about, now we're seeing where the Pacers are probably going to have to play most, if not all of next season without Halliburton. We're going to see the Celtics have to play majority of the season, if not all, without Tatum. We're going to have to see Damian Lillard not play next year. So they're going to have to figure out a way to protect those players, but not rush them back from calf injuries, because that leads to Achilles tears. Okay? And so that's pretty much all my 2 cents for the NBA right now. But once again, shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning. And I'm excited to see what next season holds, especially with all the trades and things going. There are some teams that are really trying to shake up some things, okay? And so after basketball, I want to talk about the WNBA. WNBA, I have been watching. This is probably the year that I've watched the most games so far. And I want to say the front runner is the Minnesota Lynx. They look like a complete team. Nafisa Collier is playing really well. And even though she's playing well, I mean, she's averaging 20 and 12, basically. She's basically averaging 20 and 12. But I don't think she has played her best basketball this season. And to average those points and then to not be playing your best ball. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for her. But that team overall, with Williams, she's a great assist. She's a great assister on the team. She passes the ball really well. She has great vision. It always seems like she knows how to make an opening for her teammate. And it's been interesting to see them off the court as well. They have a great social media presence. The Minnesota Lynx and Courtney and and that whole gang. But I'm excited to see where the Timberwolves go. Now, the team that has kind of surprised me the most will be the Golden State Valkyries, because of the simple fact that they are the new team and they are 9-7. They started out not so well, and then that organization is constantly adding players, waiving players, trying to see what team has the best chemistry and what players have the best chemistry together. And I think they kind of found that formula, and I'm excited to see where that goes and how that goes. Now, the Indiana Fever have kind of disappointed me a little bit. I was expecting more from them, and I know injuries, especially with Caitlin Clarke, has kind of derailed them a little bit, but I was expecting more from them. Caitlin Clarke, of course, she's doing her thing. She's been struggling as of recently, so it's going to be interesting to see how she gets out of that slump, because it seems that the WNBA has kind of figured out what to do to get her off her game. And I don't get me wrong, she can still come. We're going to see a lot of games when she's scoring 30 and she's doing what she's supposed to do. But I do think the WNBA has kind of figured her out. So now it's time for her to figure out how to adjust to them figuring her out. And as a player, that's something that you constantly have to do. So I'm excited to see how she brings herself out of the slump. And I hope that they do not rush her back so that she can be fully healthy and that she can and it cannot, because I hate to see when players are not fully healthy and they go back to the court, and then that they aren't fully healthy, and that they can re-injure or further injure and then extend the timeline of them being completely healthy again. So I hope they be very cautious with her and they take their time in bringing her back. Because a injury like what she has, that can be a very nagging injury. So I'm hoping that they do the right thing by her timetable, but I'm excited to see her back when she is healthy. Now to the Sky, the Chicago Sky. I will say I did not have very high hopes in that first 8 games. The scheme that their coach is implementing, which is basically letting Angel Reese be the point forward, I think she was very uncomfortable the first couple games, and we saw that in her production. I mean, she was still rebounding, but her points wasn't there. She had a good bit of turnovers as well, and she just didn't look comfortable. But now we're starting to see her be more comfortable. And in the last 4 games, I mean, she's averaging dang near 16 rebounds a game, as well as almost averaging 21 points a game. So she has definitely found her stride, and she's definitely getting comfortable in what she's doing and the role that she plays on the team. I can only hope that the team continues to move forward and adjust to their coaching style and how he wants them to play. But I'm excited to see where that team goes, and I'm excited to continue to see Angel Reese getting better, because she's also getting better as a passer. Her assists are getting more. She's getting more assists in a game, and while also getting more assists, some people might think her turnovers could go up, but her turnovers are actually low compared to the assist ratio. So I'm excited to see her get into that role and seeing how quickly she adjusted to that role, because I thought that this season could be a season where she really struggled because of the new system and the new role that she's in. And then lastly, I want to talk about the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces have been a team that they're just middle of the road team right now. Like, they aren't the team that they were 2 years ago, and we clearly see that. I don't think the moves that they made in the offseason have made them better. I think it kind of make them regress a little bit, but they just made a trade to get Nalissa from the Dallas Wings. So she's now a Las Vegas ace. So I'm trying to see if that's going to work for them. If that is going to be the thing that helps them. But I don't see that. I think they really need to do some roster searching and to get them the things that they need to be a really good team, because right now I don't see that. With the way that the Lynx are playing, the way that even the Atlanta Dream have been like the sleeper team. They're a really good team. And shout out to South Carolina, because Tahina Pow, many people thought that she might have regressed because she wasn't scoring as much as she were when she was in college that last season. But she's really found her spot in the WNBA. And if last time I checked, she was leading the league in 3-point percentage with 57.1% of made 3-pointers. So I'm excited for her. I'm excited for the Dream. And also the WNBA had also announced that they plan on continuing the expansion. So Philadelphia will get a team. And it's 2 other cities that I can't remember off the top of my head, but there will be 3 additional cities to getting teams. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see the WNBA grow and to see more players get the opportunity to go play at the next level, especially with women's. There's so much talent out there, and there's no need for talent that has to go overseas to play when they can play in the WNBA. So I'm excited to see that happen, and I hope the expansion isn't happening too fast, because that can also be a thing. But by 2030, there will be 18 WNBA teams. So I'm excited for that. And I can't wait to see how that plays out. And I'm going to be watching. And then maybe we can get more WNBA games on primetime television, So, yeah. And then lastly, I want to talk about some moves in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers finally decided that he's not going to retire and he's going to sign with the Steelers. I don't think that's going to make them a really like a contender. I think they'll be run of the mill. I don't see them winning their division at all. I see them finishing third, maybe last in the division. based off the roster that they have. And then I just saw that, and then yesterday they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick back to the Dolphins, and then they're going to get Jalen Ramsey. I don't see how that decision makes sense unless Minkah told them that he wanted out and he wanted to go to Miami. Because, I mean, we have prime Minkah, who's at a great age. He's still high performing. Only issue sometimes is with him is injuries. But last season, he played more games than I remember him playing in most recent years. And then on top of that, Jalen Ramsey, I'm not saying Jalen isn't good. I'm not saying Jalen isn't good, but I'm saying Jalen and Darius Slay in that secondary, they're on the tail ends of their career, and you're talking about them having to chase and protect from Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Like, I don't see that working out in that secondary I don't see that working out very well for the Steelers. Not when you have to face the Bengals twice a year. Not with that secondary. I do not see that. I do not see that working out. I do not see that working out. Only thing I can say is maybe now that they will pay TJ Watt what he is owed, what he's due. I mean, that guy is constantly top 3, if not top 2 consistently. He just needs to stay healthy. But other than that, they need to pay the man. He says he don't mind being a Steeler for his entire career. The Steelers shouldn't mind him wanting to be a Steeler for his entire career. If the Cleveland Browns can make Myles Garrett stay, the Pittsburgh Steelers can do what they need to do to make sure that TJ Watt stays. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But I'm excited for the NFL season as well. We're getting up closer. Training camp. Teams are going to start making cuts. Teams are going to start making even more moves. So I'm excited to see where things go. Players are going to get signed. Players aren't going to get signed. The Bengals still have a lot to figure out. Even their first round pick, he's holding out. They still haven't reached contract negotiation. I don't know how that's going to fare for the Bengals. I don't know how that's going to fare for him as being a rookie. You haven't even proved yourself in the NFL yet. But I understand you wanting to get what is due, what is owed to you, or what everyone else is getting across the board. So I completely understand that. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. And then outside of the NFL, I want to give a shout out to Coco Gauff, who won her second Grand Slam. I watched that match. It wasn't her best match, but she stayed steady. She had a poise about her. She didn't get flustered. She knew she wasn't playing her best, but she held steadfast. And then even after all the controversy, after her winning, after her opponent basically saying that, Coco didn't beat her, she beat herself. Coco remained gracious. She remained cool, calm, and collected. And I love to see that for someone who as young as her and having the success that she's having. So I'm excited to continue to see. And I know I've been saying I'm excited a lot, but with everything that's going on in sports, it's hard to not be excited, guys. So yeah, shout out to her, and I hope she continues to do what she's doing. As someone who grew up watching Serena, I'm so excited to see her continue to get better and better and better. And on top of that, I also want to give a shout out to Denzel Clarke from the Oakland A's, the center fielder. That man has been making incredible plays consistently, week after week. I mean, I want to see him play. I can't wait to see highlights of him because of how well he's been playing. I need him to get better in the batter's box, but I mean, we're in MLB, so I mean, it's hard to be in the batter's box anyway. But his fielding is amazing, and I can't wait to see what else, because I mean, we're not even halfway through the season, and he already has 4 web gems. So I'm excited. Again, I'm excited to see what he does after that. But yeah, and come back next week, okay? Make sure you join me again next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I miss you guys. I hope you've missed me too. So please comment. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to expound upon, anything you want me to talk about specifically, and I'll see what we can do about that. But once again, I'm Kaila Ali. This is the Ali Perspective, and I'll see you next time.